Whoa! What happened? I was just in here a couple minutes ago. I walked inside and come back out and it done spun itself around. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So anyways, I am doing the cleaning. Got it turned around this way because it's at the entrance. And I got just a little cheap transmission dolly right there. And it actually works pretty good. Now I can roll it kind of forward and back and everything. Get the pressure washer out. I still need to get in there real good. But that'll allow me to do that. Whereas if it was down at the back of the shop, I really don't want to pressure wash in the shop, right? But yeah, that's what we got. Leaf springs are off. I don't know if I said that already or not. I can't remember. That's what happens when you record a bunch of stuff and don't edit it. You don't remember where the storyline is. But yeah, we're looking good. I got that stuff cleaned up off the floor. Oil change done in the Dart. You can watch that video up there on how to do that, just in case you just don't know how to do it or bored or something. But got my stuff to do a little bit of roofing, so that's tomorrow. Saturday, going to go down and work on my dad's place. And yeah, I just need to get the Dart in. Actually, I rotated my tires, so I need to torque everything down and set all the tire pressure. And we're coming into summer. Yeah, another thing, I don't want dirt and dust and all that all over this area where I'm doing stuff, engine stuff, and I'm about to get the engine. So I didn't even check this week at the machine shop. So they may already have that thing done. I don't know. I had alignment done on the Ram Charger, which means I towed it down there, then had to get a ride down to go pick it back up. It's been one of them busy weeks, and you see what I've been getting done here. Okay, I've used the shop vac to suck stuff out, used the air hose to blow out like underneath some of these crevices in there that I couldn't quite get with the pressure washer, and then come back and vacuum it out again. I'm using some paint thinner in a spray bottle. I'm just gonna come in here and just spritz it down, and that'll kind of break up anything, hopefully, that I didn't get. So I'm just gonna do a quick spritz, and once that gets all dried up real good, and then I'll be ready to go ahead and do my rust encapsulator. Actually, I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum Rust Reform and Seal with a little snake on it to try to get all these little areas in here. Alrighty, head out to the shop here and see what we got going on. I've been sneaking out here, doing a little bit on breaks, working from home today. That was a pretty good gig, by the way. So anyways, that's where we left off. We did that. I've already got it just scuffed down with the red Scotch-Brite and then spritzed it with my paint thinner and then wiped it down again. So we should be fairly decent. I might do one more little wipe down in there, and I think we're good. I mean, we're not going for a show car paint job. If it was, this would be completely stripped down to bare metal and all that. We're just trying to preserve the thing, right? So the other thing this has been wire wheeled, it's been oven cleanered, and it's been pressure washed. So yeah, anything left on there, it's on there. But yeah, just going to do the primer. Want to show you something here. Normally I use the Van Sickle, but I have to buy that by the gallon here. And usually I waste a quart out of that gallon because I don't use it fast enough. I went to shake that up and it felt thin, so I looked on the back and it is already, it's ready to spray primer. So I'm going to use this because what's a good primer, it is the rust arrestor built into it, which that's what I want. I want to prevent it from rusting. I've done all the steps I know to do to prevent it from rusting, and I didn't use the rust encapsulator stuff or converter on the paint because it converts rust. It doesn't convert paint. That's why we're going back and priming it, right? So I got my stuff pretty much ready to go here. Going to dip that out, get it into the paint gun, and it's noisy fat truck hour because it's right after work. Everyone's getting off work. Got the gun ready to go. I'm going to get that hooked up and get that sprayed. I need to get the dart out of here, and what I'll probably do is close that door. I may need to leave this door open for room. I might just push the truck back a little bit, and what I'll do, I'll bring the door down and use one of my step stools that I got to have it open a little bit. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll push the truck back a little bit and do that. That way my intake air comes in and I'll get the window open. I'll probably keep the door open and the window open there and go ahead and spray this. So that'll keep that's another way to keep the stuff from spreading out over there. But I'll park the dart back over there and the truck's backed over there, and we'll be good. Get that done, and giving this oil base, I want to give it a day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, something like that, before I come back in here and lay the paint over the top of it. Okay, here we go. Now, just a word of warning, that primer was super chunky, and I had trouble. I had to like thin it in the cup. They said don't thin it, but you ain't gonna spray it if you don't thin it. But got everywhere, but we ran out on the second go around right in there, and I wasn't going to go a third. I just couldn't fill the cup up. It's just so chunky. So now that I've mixed it up and got a little bit of room in there and been playing with it, maybe next time will be better, but I think I did pretty good. I mean, we're going to put a coat of paint over top of it. And it's a frame down there. So the big part was right up here and right up there, because that's what we're going to see when we're done and got the engine in there. We're not going to see any of this down in here or back over in there or anything, right? It just needs protection. I don't have to look pretty, but anyways, that's where we got to right there. So nothing to see until I get to the paint part, which I'm going to make for sure. Well, I'll probably take a little more care when I do the paint, but I'll show you what we're going to use over here. I need to get to shaking that, but I was very surprised at how chunky that other stuff was. So if I see something like that on this, I'm just going to stop and make sure that it's not chunky. So we're gloss black Rust-Oleum. So that's the oil base. It'll go on top. Now you can put whatever. Now you can put whatever you want over the top of that, as long as you use that slick seal over the top of it. And it's perfectly fine. But I'm going to be using that gloss black elsewhere on the truck. So I'm just going to head ahead and do that. And that's rust preventative. And the thing is, I want this to patina and fade. So I'm going to use the oil-based enamel when we paint the outside, because I want it to have that patina right there. And there's really no way to fake that. You just have to let the paint patina on its own. And with the oil-based enamel with no hardener in it, it'll get there in 6 months or a year. So that'll be an easy way to get there, doing it like that. And it'll be a nice job. Now, you don't know what I'm going to paint it with. I got gloss black, but we're a long way away from there. I still don't have the engine yet. That's going to be another couple weeks. But that's fine, because I'm in the middle of doing this. All right, here we go again. Oh, looks dark. Looks dark. What'd I do? I put gloss black on it. I might have to touch up with a rattle can in there. And that's the cool thing about using like the oil-based enamels. You can go get you a rattle can and touch up everything. It's the same thing. I didn't add any hardener to this. Looks like I might have been a little light there. All right, now let's look at the Firewall. I got some texture, and I also had texture on the RAM charger. Trying to get the right lighting. I mean, it'll look good for what we're doing here, you know, but we do have texturing in there. I think we can see that. I figured out one thing I'm doing wrong. So with the oil-based enamel, that's pretty thick. You got to thin it. I've been thinning it at my 1.14 mark, right? And then I spray it, and I'm getting texture. So what I figured out I had to do, I'd started getting some good flow, but I had to crank this air compressor up pretty high. Now that's not running pressure, that's pressure. So that's what about, I gotta read it here, 40, 50, yeah, about 60 going to the gun. So I was trying to run about 45, which would give me about 35 at the gun. I don't have my regulator on now. I've tested that. I don't know what it is. So I had to crank it up a lot. So I think I need to come in and thin this down. See, I sprayed, we can't see, we're not going to be able to see in there. But I started spraying some of this other stuff, and that fixed our problem right there. And I come through and dusted the top of it to try to get it to lay down a little flatter. But it's okay. I don't have runs, so that's good. But it went on real thick at a 1:4 ratio. So I think for this paint here, and I'm mixing it with our naphtha. That's what they suggest for the Van Sickle oil base. So I just used the same thing on there. I didn't add any hardener to it. So I think a 1.3, maybe do a 1.2, and then I can take my pressure and crank it down. Because, man, running 65 PSI on my air tank over here, it can't keep up with that, you know. And that's what I'm having to push through the gun to get it to atomize good. So that's something I need to note for myself, and I can watch this video and remember that next time I go to spray, because we're going to be using this paint style oil-based enamel throughout the whole project here. So yeah, that's what happened on the RAM charger too. And as Rust-Oleum, the Van Sickle may mix a little different because I didn't have that problem with the Van Sickle paint. I mixed it at a 1.4 and sprayed fine, but Rust-Oleum gloss black apparently wants to be thinned down a little more. And I can't tell that, well, I didn't, primer, don't even want to get into the primer fiasco there, but they said don't thin it. I had to thin it, and it's chunky. The Rust-Oleum was not chunky at all. I mixed it up and it's perfectly fine. So I guess this one sat on the shelf longer or something. I don't know, but it flowed through the filter, didn't have any issues, no chunks or anything in it. But the Ace primer was, oh my goodness, it was clogging a filter chunky. But that stage is now done. It's going to take a little bit for this to cure. I'm just going to let it set the way it is. No big deal. Probably about an hour or two, it'll be dry to touch. But I'm not doing anything else in the shop. I'm going to be doing outside stuff. And it is a rainy day today. Yes, I painted when it's rainy out. Oh, you can tell I'm not a painter. Oh, hey, look, is that a little dove right there? I think it is. Well, we'll just back up and let it do the whole bird thing. No need in getting it all frustrated there. I got geese that show up. Oh, buddy, we got trying to drown the frogs or something over here this morning. Whew. All right, well, so that means I need to turn to yard stuff now, and got a little touch-up thing to do on the RAM charger underneath the hood. Actually, I need to adjust my hood. That's beyond the scope of this video. I do want to show you kind of what I did for my air intake. When we go to do like real paint jobs, what I like to do is kind of keep the same idea and put filters in there. And I have a house fan or exhaust fan, an enclosed motor exhaust fan that I want to put up, get that stupid window unit, don't do anything in there, out, and put my exhaust fan up there so I can blow out that way, and that'll be my draw. Or I could put it over here on this side and have like a cross flow. I need to start preparing for that because Project Phoenix is going to get a real paint job. We're not using Van Sickle Atwoods or whatever paint onto that right there. It's going to be a real one. I'm going to graduate to real paint one day, but it's not today.